In today's math lesson, we're going to graph compound inequalities. So let's talk about the word compound. It means that in your inequality, there is going to be more than one greater than or less than symbol occurring, which tells us that there is more than one condition that must be met. This can happen with an and, so this and that must be met, or the word or, this or that must be met. So their graphs are going to look pretty different from each other, but you're going to see very quickly that this is pretty easy to do. Let's talk about the word and. So if you have to deal with and, then your inequality probably looks something like a number less than x, which is also still less than a second number. Not too bad. And as a result, the graph that we build is going to have your two numbers in order from least to greatest, and then the shading will occur in the middle between them. One way to think of this is that if x is in the middle of the inequalities, then the shading will be in the middle of our numbers also. Now, there is a secondary way to write this, these inequality statements, and if that happens, you'll know what it is because it could use the word and, like literally and, between two inequality statements. So if you have an x in the middle between two numbers, between two inequality less thans, then you're going to shade in the middle. Or you could just have two separate statements with the word and between them, and then you will again put your numbers in order from least to greatest and shade in the middle. Let's talk about the word or. So in this case, your inequality statements will look like x less than some number or x greater than some other number. Okay? So our inequalities are always going to be pointing in these directions. So that is something to be noteworthy of, because you're going to have to build the inequalities in the next lesson. But know for now that when we're working with and, both of your inequalities are less thans. When we're working with or, one of your inequalities is a less than, while the other is a greater than. Okay, back to the graph. So when you are graphing with an or, you are again going to have your two numbers in the order from least to greatest. This is x is less than your first number, so you will shade to the left, and x greater than your second number, so you will shade to the right. And that's how these are always going to work. This is pretty simple. Let's see how it goes.